We begin tonight's investigation here in the 4th Pharos of the Candela headquarters with our circle known as the Circle of Sophistication, stepping into what has been uncovered as this secret prison room deep underneath the 4th Pharos location through a portal that you found access to through Clara Valentine's office. And as you're stepping into this room through the portal, the wisps of smoke aligning each of these compartments, you see 2 little red eyes flicker in the distance at the end of the hallway. And the reverberation from this dark, ominous presence is starting to seep through your skin into your very soul. Similar to the presence that you felt with the flare, but tenfold. Instantly, these flashbacks start to warp into your mind. And instead of me doing a little bit of the cinematic storytelling, I'm going to pass it off to each of you. I'm going to have you describe to me what is your character's worst fear. Or alternatively, the first time that you encountered one of these dark, ominous creatures that led you to becoming a member of Candela in the first place. And we'll start over here with Wes.
For Tony, it starts in a very cold, dark place where there is light, but there is not much heat. It's wet. And Tony had always wanted more for himself. More beyond what he had spent his entire existence experiencing. Cold, wet, same. Till one day, a storm and a ship went overhead. Tony looked up and saw bodies being hurled from the storm, from the ship, into the ocean. And Tony thought, surface dwellers. I wonder what it's like to be there, to live elsewhere. He's heard rumors of fire and warmth, hard ground and adventure. He wanted it more than anything. He saw one of the larger folk off this ship. And he thought, mine. And Tony took over, waking up, but now ever in fear that someone might notice. He's a bit odd, a bit different than everyone else. Always seeking to learn more about this strange new place. Tony is an element of the shade, of the darkness. And Tony does not want anyone else to find him.
Wow, okay. So those images all start rocking through your head the minute you step into this area. Next, we'll move over to Christina Liliana.
There aren't many things that I fear, just by nature of the life that I've led. Dark childhood, sometimes bright childhood, running off and joining the circus, all of those things. But the thing that she fears the most in the world is losing her brother. And if anyone were trying to project a fear upon her, it would be her in a position of not being able to save him, to be there to protect him.
Wow, yeah. So you start to see these visions of all of these close calls you and your brother have had over the years working with Candela. Near misses that, if a blade went a little to the right, would have been fatal. A car crash with a dented door would have gone too far in. All those near misses just whiffed into your mind, and they go horribly wrong. That blade that should have gone left, it went right. That car that slammed into the door, it slammed too far in. You witness your brother getting into these horrific accidents and situations over and over, you just 2 inches away from being able to save him, and him collapsing over and over again. Moving on to Repo.
It's a little funny. We are twins. In some ways we're similar. Something Rebo never told his sister. That pistol he has. He got it because someone aimed it at her once. He stopped him. And he took it because the one thing that could have hurt her. He had to protect her. But he's afraid one day he's not going to be there to watch her back. And if he's not there, who will be?
So similar, that moment of that gun being pulled onto Oleana comes back to you. And the protective nature that you have surges through you. And similar fears are kind of running through your mind as well, with the connection that you have almost mirroring each other. Other moments where there were just near misses of something horrible happening to her, where you were able to protect her or stand in the way. A second goes by and you missed it, and you see the fate of your sister lying in your arms. There's another situation of the pistol being pointed and you are not able to wrestle it away from the assailant, and a gunshot goes off. And you see blood spread across her body, and as you open up your jacket, you see blood spread across your own body as well.
He's probably speechless for one of the few times in his life there's no witty remark. Nothing.
Moving on over to the doctor.
Well, as a chemist, it's always been my goal to transmutate the mundane into wealth beyond number. I once found an ancient text in the library that gave me half the formula to turn lead into gold. And so my obsession has always been to find the other half of that formula. But my fear is a recurring nightmare. I find the formula, but then I can't read it. Then I can read it, but I can't find any of the elements. Then I can read it. I have assembled all of the components, and then I have no arms.
Okay.
This is the fear that is now creeping through me as I peer upon this devil in front of us. The same fear from the recurring nightmare of not being able to complete my quest, turning lead into gold.
That never-ending cycle of incompletion just goes into your head, and you start to witness it like it's happening in real time. You go to try to pick up the paper, but you can't read it. Then you're able to read it, but it's just one failure after the next, and your blood is just boiling. The veins inside your head are starting to throb. This feeling that you're chasing that you'll never fully catch up to. Never-ending, exhausting, irritating, soul-crushing. And we finally move on to Whisper.
We've learned Whisper is not the strongest, nor most coordinated or charismatic of the group. She really relies on her friends, and I think her worst fear would be one of her friends asking her for help and her being unable to help them, like the little girl possessed by the poltergeist who asked her for help, and the poltergeist asking for help to find a host, and the self-sacrificing deal that was struck as a result.
Okay. So that whole sequence of events comes down before you. Except the deal was not struck. And the body that you tried to open yourself up to for the spirit to take over, you see the light from your eyes start to shine out as the spectre takes you over, and you're no longer there. Whisper is in a box, in a cage deep within the recesses of your mind, as the spirit from beyond the flare took your body over. And it's just driving you around like a car. And as the camera kind of pulls out, that cage that you're at in the recess of your back of your mind stays there as you're never able to escape. And as all this imagery is starting to float into your minds, snap out of it. As the two beady red eyes at the end of the hallway addresses you once more.
So, more visitors. Come. Come closer so I can get a look at you.
What would you all like to do?
Not go any closer!
I'm gonna address the creature and say, "What did you do to Clara? What did she want from you?"
Whisper, are you continuing
Tell
to go
me.
forward?
I'm gonna read the room and then take a few steps back.
Clara. Yes, I remember. She had questions that needed answering. She was a curious one at that. Didn't know what she was stumbling into.
Well, she's dead now. Because of whatever you told her.
Is that correct? Seems like things are moving forward faster than expected. What is your name?
Not anymore, they aren't.
Tony. And Tony is going to slap his two fists together. And you can see that his billy club is no longer with him, but he has these black metal across his knuckles, and he slams them together, and that same blue lightning kind of starts to crackle, and you can see him kind of flex his muscles, and you see him kind of grow a little bit in size as you feel a slight pulse of the flare. And he begins to walk forward steadily.
Okay. Any of you in this room, what would you like to do?
I'd like to wait.
Yeah,
I'm going
See
to...
his next move.
agreed. I don't want to get closer to that thing than we have to.
Courage suddenly pulses through me, and I'm going to back up Tony. I will pull out my last remaining science grenade and keep it at the ready.
Then I'm going to even things out and stay in between everyone.
Okay, so Tony starting to walk forward.
You've already been inside of our heads. You know what we're here to know. Tell us before we make you tell us.
And as you start to step forward, the light from your brass knucks with the blue flare light igniting, you see this malformed female presenting shape. The skin is a dark purple with bright pink veins coming out from the hands up into the forearms, pulsing like a heartbeat. The shoulders broad and sharp, the arms long, muscular, the hands large, but the fingers elongated with the endings looking like butcher's knives. The various pink lighting goes up to the neck, to a head that doesn't seem to have a mouth or eyes. This almost rock coral-like shape that branches out like a V, with almost like fungi-like attachments that go into the neck of whatever this thing is attached to. Hair floats like shadows and wisps, but also ooze and droplets fall down to the floor. The pink coloration goes down past the waist, and hanging off is just another drape of cloud, almost looking like cloth, as the legs appear to be like charcoal and stone fall to the ground. And you can see the tendrils of the hair wisping and floating are crawling out of their compartment into the other compartments that you've been walking by. These shadowy figured wisps that are connected to this being follow you as you pass by each compartment till it can't follow anymore and stops.
Clara was pulling a thread. Wanted to know some things. That's why I'm down here. Candela's own personal archive of the flare. They refer to me as the Ancient One. The very first that they found in the flare. They come to me for questions. A bargain is struck, and I answer. It's usually just the three I see, but Clara was a new. I was very delighted to speak with her. Wanted to know about a relic that was lost long time ago.
Yes, Whisper.
Who are the three?
Only a limited amount of people know about this place. I'm curious, how did you get in here?
We used our feet. What do you think?
Yes. Feet. I've been told what the sensation is like. Interesting.
So basically, you've been captive down here for how many years?
Oh, I've lost count. Which version of the Pharaohs are we in now?
Fourth?
Oh, it's been a very, very long time then. Hard to keep track of years down here.
And you see the body of this shadowy visage with this pink light surging through them. This sort of triangle-like adornment on their chest. And they just kind of sway out. If Tony was blocking the view of this thing, this shadowy figure just leans out and connects eyes with you, Oleana.
You have a strong heart. Fiery ambition. You protect those that you love. You would do anything to protect your brother.
That's a given.
What would you sacrifice for him to come out of this alive?
Your head.
The shadowy wisps, you start to hear children's laughter start to echo through the chambers.
You're the one in the cage. Not us.
I've been waiting a long time. I can wait a little bit more. The victims, the relics, collected, I take it.
Yeah. You're welcome. Why are you so happy about it?
They start to stretch out and crack bones inside of their body. The body kind of twisting and turning in unnatural-like stages.
'Cause it's time to be free.
That necklace that you're holding, Doctor, the undark on it, this pulse kind of comes off from this being, shakes everything in the room. The undark on your necklace sparks and reacts. Sends a bit of a pain in your chest. You're taking a body.
Ugh. Well,
And with that, you feel the whole space around you start to rumble like a shockwave.
But why now? You've been this librarian down here for centuries, and now you want to escape? This is your moment? I don't understand.
It wasn't possible.
Doesn't make any sense.
Is the portal that we came through still behind us?
It is. That pulse happens, and the portal starts to slowly
I'm going to run
close.
towards it!
The green lights that were above you start to get snuffed out as the doors of the plexiglass windows suddenly go. You feel this massive power down, and the doors start to. As the shadows from the compartment start to.
It's time, my children. Tell them all amongst the flare. Now is the time. We take our plane back.
What would you all like to do?
Goodness sakes.
Cry.
My first instinct is to throw the necklace back through the portal.
Yeah?
To somehow maybe counterbalance what's happened. Does that seem like a plan?
Do it. Do it.
I'm gonna do it!
All right, take that
I'm
necklace.
looking elsewhere.
I throw it through the portal. I run up as close as I can to the portal and throw it back through.
Throw it through. Goes through. Nothing.
All right. I guess we fight.
The portal slowly closing.
Is running not an option?
We could. We could leave right now. Now we know.
You need
what
to
we're
go. I
facing,
can
please.
buy you some time.
Or you can run.
Sure. But I'm already up here. Get
We
going.
don't want to leave you alone.
No, I'm just gonna hold up the flank. I'm not trying to sacrifice myself.
If the
going.
consensus is to jump back through the portal, let's jump through the portal.
I pick up my sister and I start running for the portal.
Okay.
Come on, Tony.
I'm okay. I'm gonna go ahead. Do your thing.
Tony.
All right, we got Whisper, we got Rep, we got Oleana running towards the portal. Doctor, are you going through the portal too, or are you staying here with Tony?
I'm already, well, I'll let them go through, and I'm trying to convince Tony to follow me.
I am. I'm backing up. All right.
He's
and I'm
yeah.
basically fists up. I'm just waiting for things to come at me, and I'm gonna try and strike them as they approach.
Then I too jump through the portal.
All right, I want you all, I want you all to make me a move roll as you dodge into the portal here, as all the shadowy wisps just sort of reach out and snatch at all of you.
I do not have a circle. That means I roll with disadvantage.
Correct.
Right? Wonderful.
Same.
I'm gonna use 2 drive here.
Okay.
No, actually, yeah, I'll use 2 drive. And I do have tenacious, which means that if I have 1 or more bleed marks, I gild an additional die on a move, strike, or control.
Sweet. Okay.
If I'm in danger.
Yeah.
I assume I'm in danger.
Oh yeah, you are.
I assume I'm in danger. Wow, that's a lot. Okay, I will take the gilded die on a 5.
Gilded die. Okay. So mixed success.
I rolled a 5 and 3 1s, y'all.
Got a 2. Whisper.
But does anyone have a spare drive they're not planning on using?
Don't worry about it. Just do your thing. I'm trying to protect you here. I have a thing.
Okay, my thing is a 1 though.
Okay. It is what it is.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Oleana.
A 2.
2. Repo.
A 4.
A 4. Okay, so 5 and 4 for Repo. So you're able to start to walk through the portal. Tony, you got the shocker on. Able to, some of these wisps of shadow start to wrap them around you. You're just like boxing these tendrils as they come and snap at you. Some come as claw shapes, some come as giant daggers, some come as like a mauled, sharp-toothed being with teeth. One does get you into the side, so you will take a bleed right there.
Okay.
Repo, you're running towards the shadows as well. They ducking and dodging. You're able to jump, switch, like just move all around. You've made it towards like pretty much within walking distance of the portal. 1 slash goes onto your back though, as you've made it to the portal, but you will take a bleed.
Okay.
And the 3 of you that failed, tendrils wrap around you. Some get around your leg, some slash at your arm, some begin to wrap it around your neck as this thing is trying to contain you and hold you in here. The 3 of you will have a body and a bleed together.
I am going to use behind me, where I can expend a drive. And I said I was going to help Whisper. So I am basically like getting in the way of whatever tendril was going after Whisper, and taking. It says that I can spend a nerve, choose an ally in the same area to take a mark from a phenomenon from them.
Okay.
So I'll
You'll
go ahead
soak
and
one of those?
take. Yes. So you got a body and a bleed, right?
Yeah, and if
Which one is better
First
for
of
you
all-
not to have?
yeah, first of all, thank you. Second of all, could you take the body? Because if I take a bleed, then I can know more about this
Yeah.
creature.
I got it. So I'll kind of get in the way of whatever struck out at her.
Okay. So in Whisper, you wanted to know more about this being?
Yes, please. I have let them in. Whenever you take one or more bleed marks, you also gain additional information about the phenomenon that harmed you. And I can ask a question about the source of the bleed. How do we stop this thing?
This thing is ancient and it's old. It seems to be controlling like parts of the flare and the shadows itself. You've never encountered anything like this. There are lots of things that could possibly hurt it in the gear room upstairs. There's a vast archive of weapons and machinery that could hold this thing back, trap it here forever, closed off the portals so it can never escape again. Could be lots of options, but this thing is massive and terrifying as the shadowy visage on the other end of the hallway is starting to grow in size. What would you all like to do now? Oleana, start with you.
We're trying to escape, so I have my cards. And so I just grab 3 and throw as we're trying to make our way out.
All right, grab 3 and just flash them all together. Try to
Just in 3 different directions.
mark all the tendrils. Okay, make me a strike roll. Or control.
5 and a 6.
Success. Amazing. So as all those tendrils have wrapped around your friends, you're like, we gotta get out of here. Just throw those playing cards listed with flame, with bright orange and blue flame, just cutting them like a knife just chopping through rope. They just all fall, freeing the 3 of your friends here, leaving it open for you to do what you need to do next.
Me? Oh. So, as a magician, I'm gonna have to take a bleed mark on it if I succeed. But I do have a trick that I can use.
Oh, please.
Now is the time.
So you see Olena's eyes just go black and her hands start to flame. Much like her cards, you see it start to be outlined in these pink see-through flames. And they just get bigger and bigger and they come out. And she goes to where the last tendril is and towards Old Man River. And she is going to cast electricity at them and shoot it through them. So they will actually have the fire coursing through their veins.
Oh my
Yes.
god. Do you roll for this or is this something that just happens?
This is something that I do. I'm just going to have to take a bleed mark if I succeed.
Awesome.
So I'm rolling sense.
Let's do it. Anyone could add drives to this as well if you
Can
wanted
I give
to.
you a drive? I have
Please.
loads of drive and intuition.
I have none.
Drive for you.
Call me Olivia Rodrigo because I've got a driver's license. All right. I've got 2 5s and a 4.
2 5s and 4, mixed success. So, what does this magic look like necessarily? You have a lightning that pulses through the tendrils. Is there a way that you ignite it? Is there a way that it comes through your body?
It's channeling through me and goes into them. It comes out of my veins and it goes into their parts. Like,
Awesome.
because this is the tendrils of this
Yeah.
are more like plant-like. It's going to go through each of those, much like the root.
Awesome. Okay, so the rest of you see Oleana's body light up. The veins inside of her body just start to shriek with blue and green light that kind of almost illuminate the skin underneath, almost like a dark, bright coloration, and then the veins just light up all over the body, almost like an anatomy lesson. That's it. Grab onto the tendrils and just wring them, and all this electricity just pours out of your body, spreads over to all of the tendrils as they all just shatter and flare up, and all of the ones near you are just like obliterated. Much of the smoke starts to rescend, and you see the blue light trailing back into the humanoid, dark, shadowy figure with the pink light. Suddenly, the pink light infused with that blue lightning, and you see them just start to shake, just screaming with guttural, ungodly sounds. It was a huge blow. What are we doing now?
Let's go.
Yeah. I'm still kind of waiting for everybody else to act.
Yeah, we out. I hate this.
Okay. Each one of you going back into the portal.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
terrible.
Yes.
Jumping back into Fourth Pharos, into the bottom office, one at a time, landing on the hardwood floor. The portal being still afflicted from that pulse, getting a bit smaller, but still sort of holding its shape. As you, one at a time, land, you notice the lights are off inside Fourth Pharos. You hear, above you.
None of that seems good.
What would you like to do?
Feel like perhaps we add we should have called everyone back. I am bleeding profusely. I am extremely injured, on the brink of death.
How many marks do you have?
I have 3 in body right now.
Okay. So one
I
more
have
body and you'll get
3.
knocked out. You'll need all 9 marks to die.
Okay.
I
Oh
have
yeah.
3
Okay.
in bleed.
I have
And
3
2
in
in-
body, 1 in brain, and 2 in bleed. I am hurting.
I have 3 in bleed and 2 in body.
You tell Mr. Montgomery.
I think Mr. Montgomery might be dead.
Oh, okay.
What are we gonna do here?
Can we even see it all, or do we need to generate
Right
a
now
light
you're just hearing the
source?
voices from the office that you're in. I'm leaving it up to you to decide which route
May-
you'd like to take.
May I go to the blueprints that Clara had of the building and see where the electricity is controlled?
Sure thing. You're able to,
just-
in the,
All the lights are off, so it seems like maybe because the electricity turned off, this thing was released, you know, like a jail cell. And maybe if we turn it back on.
That's smart. That's smart.
thank
Here,
you.
I'm gonna light my lighter and to kind of provide some light over the map. You will watch that portal. Make sure nothing else comes out of it. What are you doing,
Smoke.
Repo?
Look,
This is
it's an
serious.
emergency. It's an emergency.
If I had lungs, I'd be smoking too, probably. Now seems
What-
like a great time to start.
Have you found it yet, Whisper? Where is it?
I don't know. I'm looking.
all right, so using the flame over the blueprint, trying to figure out where the generator is as a backup generator. It's in the gear room.
It's in the gear room.
Let's go be upstairs then, next to the director's office. Let's go.
Can I take a peek out the door? Just to see if anybody's in the hallway?
In the hallway next to you right now, at the first part of it, no. But then you hear, "Ah!" and you see a body just fall down, and it's Monty with a gaping hole in his
No!
chest, one
Montgomery!
arm missing, his neck ripped off the side, part of it still latched on.
Put my hands on the wounds. It's okay. This is fine.
That was a joke.
Run! Run! It just falls. to the ground.
Gotta get upstairs. We've gotta get the power back on. Get these things contained again.
Everyone go ahead. Go!
Go ahead. We'll meet you upstairs. What are you doing?
Just trust me for 2 seconds.
Okay.
All right, I'm going upstairs with Whisper.
She's gonna turn around and she's gonna drop one of her smoke bombs and fill up the room so it clouds it up so that they can make a clean escape.
Awesome. Okay. The smoke starts to fill the office at first. It starts to spread out amongst the stairs. It starts to climb up. The portal still sort of slowly closing. You see small little smoky tendrils start to climb out of it, but the smoke covering the whole ground seems to block whatever. If this thing could see through the tendrils, it's not able to see anyone in this room. As the three of you are able to make a clean getaway up the stairs, as the smoke starts to billow up and go into the main hall here. Is it Doctor, Whisper, and Tony going up?
Yes.
And Repo, are you staying with Oleana?
Repo would, but I don't think he would let her know that. After she throws the smoke bomb, I think he would stick around.
Okay. So the two of you maybe can't quite see each other, but you're staying in that room with them.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh
awesome.
no, excuse me. I know where my brother is. I can sense my brother, and I grab his foolish hand and we take off running.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so you start to go up the stairs, and the smoke has obscured the vision around you. You see darkened shapes within the smoke cloud, ungodly visages of beasts, of shadowy entities, just grabbing onto people. You see a shadow of someone getting slaughtered, blood spurting out onto the walls, onto the floor, doing your best to navigate through the fog, trying to get to the gear room as the smoke just keeps billowing and billowing and is starting to cover the entire area. How would you like to proceed?
We're sprinting upstairs, ignoring everything around us. I think we would like interlock hands at this point, trying to like go through the smoke in like a snake-like pattern. You've got to ignore everything. We've just, the way we help everybody is by getting the power back on. I think you're 100% right, Whisper. Doc, do you think you could manage it once we get there? Do you have any familiarity with this type of stuff?
I mean, at my age, I have familiarity with just about everything. So yes, let's just find it.
And we're moving.
All right, so for this part, I'm going to have one of you lead this action. So however you want to get through this area and get to that first sort of upper floor where there was the archive and the gear room, one of you is going to make a roll for the rest of you.
I'm moving. I have pretty high move stuff.
Sounds like Tony's leading the charge.
Do it.
If that's chill with you both.
Yes, we
Carrier?
Yeah.
Follow in
Alright.
your wake.
Here we go. Okay, so I have a gilded 5. However, I'm going to use a resistance to re-roll.
Okay.
The 3 on the other gilded die that I have currently. Rolled the 3, so we have a 5 on a gilded. So I get back a drive.
Okay, so mixed success. So as you start to climb up the stairs, you see shadowy visages of like a body hitting the banister, and almost like this dog with pincers around its mandibles, around its neck, start to jump up on this person. They tumble over the banister, boom, hit the ground hard. Screams and chaos of battle raging all around you. You're able to get up the banister to that floor, and you have a good sense of where you are. You can kind of see through the fog parts for a minute. You can see the gear room. It's just a few feet away to your right. But as that happens, these rock-like formations sort of roll in, and this sluggish neck starts to worm its way out of the rock, and these barbs kind of stick out of it, and this beak opens up. This shockwave just bursts into your way, Tony, but you being the shield of the group, you're able to kind of take the brunt of it for a minute before you kick it out of everyone's way. You found the gear room, but you're gonna take a brain as the shock waves just start to make the blood run from your eardrums.
Get in there. I'll just try and hold the door. Get the power back on.
Okay.
All right. So going in through here, you hear more bashing and clanging. You see these spider-like creatures crawling over this slender gentleman with a long, dusty trench coat. And they have like these coral reef heads, sort of similar to the Ancient One's face, but it's open and fresh and bright pink. And there's pincers coming out from the top of their abdomen with 6 legs creeping out on either side. And they have, underneath their belly, there's almost like this alien face hugger appendage where they wreathe up and trying to snap at the person who oversees the gear room, whose name is Abs. And as you look at Abs, taking out a sword that's wreathed in blue flame. On the other side, they have a shotgun wreathed in this amazing silver and brass metal that has this massive chamber that looks like grenade launchers, and they're just cocking it with one hand, switching it over to the hand, firing it, trying their best to just keep things away from them. They see you all pour in to the gear room. Shut it on! Get it back on! And just kicking all these creatures are climbing up on him. Going into the gear room.
Yeah, I'm gonna do what he said.
Okay, as you run over towards where the main switch would be for the power backup electricity, you see a few items piled around it. These items were described to you as some of the relics that were left by some of the victims that were brought in. With a little bit of that undark residue on them. You flash back to see the connection of that pulse that reacted with the necklace that reacted with the building. May have had a similar effect.
So I'm thinking I can't just pull the switch and everything will be fixed.
Doesn't look like it.
What do I do? Why? Okay, this is fine. Can I maybe inspect or analyze or focus on these items to see what I should do with them?
I won't let you roll for that. These items, one's a tome of ancient beasts. One is a sort of almost like a safety watch, like a watch that's been built with like many huge contraptions, almost mirroring the face watch of the fourth Pharos itself. Anyone who has that watch and smacks its face, and you've got a good radius of people around you, it will take you back to a safe house. If all else fails, wherever you are in the field, if you smack that, you and companions around you can be taken to a place of refuge.
Yeah, I might pocket that.
What's taking so long in there?
There's 3 items in front of me, and I can't. Help me!
Okay. What would you like to do?
I'm out of ideas. I had my one good idea of the day. Whisper doesn't have any more ideas.
Have Oleana and Repo joined the group yet?
Yes, so I was about to get to you. So yeah, you all start to, you're kind of closely behind as you're getting through that group as well. You can hear the screams, you can hear them trying to wading their way through. Were the two of you just following them into the gear room as well, or was something else you wanted to try to achieve?
No, to the gear room.
Yeah, safety
Okay.
numbers.
You both see
So, yeah.
Tony kind of leaning up against the door frame. They're inside. I don't know what's taking so long. I'm gonna kind of move out of the way to let them enter.
Well, so, with what do those items represent to me? Like, is there anything that sparks any memory or looking at them as quickly as I can?
Looking down at them, there are definitely items that are taken from the vault. They're very, very old in discovery. They can do pretty powerful things. Like, one is more of an ancient tome that has specific information in it. One has that safety watch to the safe house.
Right.
The third one is more of a communication device. That's how they started building the walkie-talkies and the phonograph. That kind of like built, not phonograph, sorry, the Morse code machines. That was kind of the first relic that they found that could allow communication between two people within the flare.
All right, but
that they found amongst other things.
If we're now in the gear room, where is where's the switch? Where is it just been destroyed?
Yeah, what's stopping us from just...
Yeah. So it appears that the relics that were brought inside from the murders were booby-trapped. And it looks like somebody has placed them here, so when they went off, it would disconnect the backup power.
Got it.
Well, I mean, I would like to figure out a way to reconnect the backup power. If there is any way at all.
Okay, so for those of you that know Fourth Pharaohs, the backup generator, the electricity goes outside, back around the back of the building. There could be a chance that the pulse loosens some wires for you to try to plug it back in. But that leaves you open to the flare outside of the building.
Yeah.
But at this point, it seems to have some defenses powered down anyway.
That's fine. I'm fast. I'm quiet. I could do it. I can do it and come back. No problem.
Okay.
Yeah. I know.
Are there any windows for you to leave out through in this room? To get outside?
In this room, yeah, there are windows in most rooms in Candela. They're a little bit barred, but you could try to just rip them out from the wall from all the adrenaline that's just pumping and surging through you. Some of them have been broken through from these shadowy entities just careening into the building.
Yeah. I would go out one of the open windows and use my burglary tools to just scale down, whether that's with bracers and wall climbers or a hook or anything. So yeah, Reba would hop out the window as quickly and quietly as possible.
Okay. So yeah, I'll let you be able to go down to that window. If you want to make me a move roll
wait, can I
to try to navigate down.
Can I toss you my walkie-talkie backpack?
That thing is huge. Thanks.
You're welcome.
We're going to need
That's
to work on making that smaller one of these days.
Yeah, if we live that long, dog.
You'd think in the last 10 years they would have been able to miniaturize it, but I suppose not.
That's a 4.
4, mixed success. So you get out of the window. Is it just you, or is anyone else following?
I'm staying inside.
It's just me. I'm making the bad choice.
It's just Repo.
I don't want to go.
Oleana, you
I don't
following?
want you to go by yourself.
Why?
I'll go. I'll protect you. If I can climb down.
You're a ghost. Why can't you fly?
I don't know. I'm not a cool ghost.
Fix it. Probably just banter as he's going down and around.
Okay. So the two of you, Whisper is going outside as well. Sorry, Oleana, were you following Repo?
Don't do that. I'm making bad choices.
I apologize. There was a garbage truck and it got very, very loud.
That's okay.
Yes, I will go with my brother.
Okay, so I'll have Whisper and Oleana make move rolls as well. Repo, as you go down, you start to go down the side. You're on the first floor above.
Yeah.
So you have to get down halfway, but then your foot slips, fall heavy on the ground. You'll take a body.
Ooh, cool.
3?
Ooh, okay. And Oleana, what did you roll for your move?
2.
2.
Yo!
The two of you are kind of rushing out as you get out of the window. These creepy insectoid shadow monsters that are starting to crawl up Ab's body. He's doing his best to fight him off, but they've now consumed his whole entire being. And those little like alien sucker mouths have just impacted all over him, and he just gets ripped in half as they pull him asunder, which causes the rest of them to start to crawl up towards Whisper and Oleana as you're about to get out, and they're about to take these alien-like suckers and just snap at you. But as you do, you just say, fuck it, and you just drop from the window and fall down. Repo, you catch them a little bit to catch their fall, but they take a heavy hit as you both are going to take a body and a bleed.
Oh, that's my 4th bleed.
Was it
You
Repo
are
and
knocked.
Oleana, or was it Whisper?
Whisper and Oleana.
It was Oleana and Whisper.
Were the
Oh,
ones-
Whisper.
Whisper and
Oleana was
Oleana
coming,
went to
so
go
I followed.
follow.
If I'm gonna pass out, my last words will be, I definitely can't fly.
The two of you tumble into Repo's arms, catching some of the brunt of it, but the shockwave of the flare and the smacking into the ground, into the impact, starts to decimate you as the flare's influence is growing and getting stronger with all these dark entities floating around. You can even hear in the distance, Repo and Oleana, something heavy coming through the thick fog of the flare.
That doesn't bode well.
But Whisper is out.
Can I like stuff her in my pocket?
You could definitely. They're very light. They're just a kind of a sack of blankets.
I'm
so
gonna-
you could just carry.
I'm gonna
them if
wrap
you wanted
Whisper
to.
around myself like a scarf. So like the arms and the other mitts go around and just.
Yeah.
Like a piggyback.
This is so weird. Oh, that's so light. It's like a.
Okay. Then we got the doctor and Tony. While they've fallen, what are the rest of you two doing?
I'm running back in the room and grabbing Doc. What is taking so long? Where did everybody go? What's all this stuff? What's happening?
This is a trap here. This was a trap, and now they're going to try to reconnect the power out the window.
They went into the flare?
Yes. Yes, they did.
Do you know what any of this stuff does? Could any of it help us?
Well, I mean, if it was all trapped, I'm not sure if any of it is operational. 2 of them are communication devices. One is a tome. Let me read that tome.
You figure it out, and I'm gonna
I grab
run
the
over.
book and start reading, seeing if there's anything in there, spells, any type of thing that could help us in this situation.
I'm running over to the squid monster again, and trying to buy Doc some more time before it comes after us.
Okay. So the squid monster, the one that
was fighting Abs.
that's in the room with you, those little like. Right, the multiple
Yeah, 'cause
spider-like entities.
I
that were
imagine
crawling
we're
all
next,
over it.
right?
Yeah, okay, you want to fight those off as they're starting to crawl over towards you as they chased off Oleana and Whisper. Make me a strike roll.
All right, I'm adding a drive, and I have those 2 gilded die because I have at least 1 bleed. I got a 6 on a gilded.
So you have those knuckles turned on again, just smacking them all over, uppercuts, lariats, stomping, throwing them into each other, them exploding into pieces, ripping off insectoid leg, stabbing at another, just tossing them all out of the way. You're the wall that cannot be broken. You have stood your ground, allowing Doc to flip through the book to try to find anything that can help them in this instance. Doc, make me a focus or survey.
Focus. I can have a gilded die. And I'm going to throw in 2 drives. Can I do that?
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
so that means I'm going to, roll 4 die? Because I already, all right.
That's right.
I get a 4 and a 5. and then 2 2s.
Do you have any resistances at all in your intuition?
So there'd be the little circles underneath the drives. Are any of those
They are
filled in?
not.
Okay.
Okay, so mixed success. So I will throw this over to you. It will have a little bit of a cost, but I will give you full reign to find a spell or any kind of incantation from the old scripture of magic and the flare to help you and your friends in this instance. Anything goes, any description. Tell me what this does.
Well, I find a spell that actually will restore the electricity. That if we had but the only person that can successfully make this spell work is a magician who is an expert in electricity. Therefore, I grab the book and take it over. Run over to Oleana and say, "Here, look, I found a spell, an electricity spell. This is you. Read it."
You throw it down 2
All right,
stories.
so Doctor, you leap.
What's that?
Yeah, just leaped down. Sort of throw the book, shouting out at the window over to Oleana as the book flies over to you. Doctor shouting out what he just said. Take it from there.
Oh,
Nope.
to end our frightened tendencies. To end our frightened tendencies, we need more electricity.
Okay, so you and Repo and Whisper you grab that book and you start to run around the building and the flare. That massive sound coming more and closer to you. Almost looks like ape-like in the shadows of the flare, with tendrils and tentacles wisping off of it in the silhouette of the strange blue light in the horizon, and many legs peering out of it, and it's getting closer and closer as you run over towards the base of the electricity where the hoses kind of come off from the building and wrap around and go into a compartment. The blast has unhinged these cords into the building, into this power source. I'm gonna need you to make me one roll, and that is going to be, let's see, we can do, I'll do control or strike for you.
Strike.
And I'll give her one
Strike,
of
all
my
right.
drives.
Okay.
6 and a 5.
Hey, there you go. So as you go into the building, in the side of the building, you say that incantation. The electricity swells up into you once more, almost like being a part of being outside the flare. It definitely affects you, sometimes negatively, sometimes positively, and you can see these wisps of shadow start to being sucked into your body, and you're able to manipulate it a little bit as this blue light starts to burn through your legs, through your body, through your arms.
Oh, hold your horses.
Oh!
I also have the ability to levitate and teleport as part of my cantrip type items.
Oh,
So
dang!
I'm gonna do a combo,
Okay.
and I'm going to rise up with the electricity, and I'm going to aim from the front as a distraction, and then I'm gonna teleport to the back.
Awesome. Okay. So as you do that, your body breathing electricity, you're able to attack. You're attacking the giant beast that's approaching.
Oh, absolutely. I would like to make sure
Yeah,
that I
so we'll
aim
roll that 6 in
while
there as
I'm
well.
on the front. I'd like to aim directly for the eyeballs. So make sure that there are 2
Yeah.
lightning bolts going directly into the eyeballs and into its body.
Awesome. So as this thing starts to get closer, you fill yourself with electric energy. Repo down by where the hoses are, or the cords are disconnected. Whisper wrapped around your body tightly. Repo, you see Oleana just converge into living lightning as their body rises up, and electricity almost like tendrils themselves, pushing them up, grabbing along the building as they move towards this massive entity, starting to use its fists to get closer. And you see the red eyes in this thing, almost like an insectoid. There's like 6 beady ones, but then 2 very large ones. And they look like bullseyes to you, Oleana, as you then just blast these things directly into the eye sockets, illuminating the inside of like a dark orange and bright red, the bones inside almost looking like a flash picture of an X-ray electricity as the bones start to just snap in real time as the silhouette of the skeleton starts to disintegrate from inside and its massive form starts to deflate like a balloon as just a meat sack just falls crumpled to the ground. As Oleana starts to come around, you're going to ignite the cords and then teleport your friends back in. All right. So as this happens, dives down. Repo, you'll help him put the cords back in. Shockwave goes up into the building. Dr. Tony, you witnessing this of Oleana just flying around in this electricity form of theirs that they're able to use the flare to their advantage. You notice that they're about to ignite the building with electricity. What would the two of you like to do?
I don't honestly think I would know that was happening. I'm busy fighting these creatures.
Right, okay.
To be completely honest. Yeah, I'm busy. I'm busy throwing.
The doctor would be outside
hands.
though, looking at the window.
Right, so I would see that it was the electricity was about to come back on, or that it was going to be too much, and there was going to be too much of a surge.
Yeah, it looks like this is about to like fry the entire Forest Theros with this much power.
Well, I do have one more science grenade. I could throw the foam one to try to envelop her in foam, and therefore short out the extra electricity.
So this would be for you two. Basically, I'm trying to ask, like, as this building's about to become electrified, what the two of you would be doing to try to avoid being hurt from it.
I would throw the foam, and then I would throw it on the two of us to be enveloped in the foam, therefore rendering the electricity neutral, and putting a foam shield around us.
Okay. So as that happens, throw the science grenade once more. Get down! This foam coalesces around you all as you get sort of sucked into it as the electricity powers up into the building. The shadowy monstrosities that you've been witnessing or seeing, all those spider-like creatures in the room with you in the gear room start to pop like popcorn. All of the other instances of people in the building, you just hear otherworldly shrieks and roars as electricity coalesces through the building and just starts to eliminate all threats inside. And as Oleana's electrified person comes back into the Forest Theros through the window, the lights start to come back on.
Oh, is this...
Otherworldly shielding from the outside in start to turn on once more.
Oh, is that all? Good job, everyone. Honestly, I'm not quite sure if that's all we needed to do. We don't know who did this. But at least the defenses are back up.
For now.
For now. Yeah.
I say no one touch those items. Don't even examine them if they're booby-trapped, just leave them be.
Sure. What happened out there? What happened outside? Is everybody okay?
Is that genetic? Because I don't think it's genetic.
Wait! Whisper is unconscious!
Oh, yeah, she's my scarf.
Well, how can we revive Whisper? I'm not sure I know how to revive an unconscious ghost. There's
Now,
So many things at play there.
does Whisper have like pockets?
Sure, she can have
Yeah.
pockets.
Okay. Revo will reach in the pocket and pull out the jar. Look at it gave her skin.
I mean, that is like smelling salts. I wouldn't necessarily pour it on her, though. Maybe open the jar and see if that'll wake her up. No, don't drink it.
No,
No, just hold it under her nose, and maybe that 10 years of pine scum
That's terrible.
could do the trick.
and I'll put it under.
All right, so Rep, you're doing this. I need you just pitch me what action you could use to try to wake Whisper up with this.
It's probably sense, which is great
Yeah.
because I am going to be basically rolling sense with disadvantage. This could only go well, shockingly well. 4.
Not terrible, actually.
I rolled a 6 and a 4, so before.
Okay, so mixed success. So the Whisper's body, you take that jar from the bitter river and kind of put it near their head. And sort of the pillowy sheet body of Whisper that's a bit deflated, sort of
Hey.
their arm kind of starts to inflate, their body inflates, one leg
This is so
inflates, but the other leg and the other arm don't. And half of the head is sort of inflated, and the other half is kind of drooped.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's disturbing.
How you doing, kid?
Did we do it?
Yeah, we
I think
did.
so.
We're the greatest.
Okay, there you go.
Sorry I abandoned everybody there for a bit.
Hey,
That was the best sleep I've gotten in years.
do you sleep?
No. That was real nice.
Perhaps
feel a
there's some
little
kind of medic or something in here. I don't know if they have ghost medics. They're prepared for all sorts of things.
Yes, they should have. I'm sure this has been experienced before in some form or fashion, especially here.
I mean, Whisper's fallen down many flights of stairs before, and they've been able to fix her up. So I suppose they've got some kind of way. I'm gonna go look for somebody. You all just stay here, maybe. I'm grabbing my side, hobbling out of the medic.
You hear a voice kind of echoing through the building, and it's eerily silent. After that charged electricity from Oleana, you don't hear a lot of rustling around, a lot of voices. But you shouting out, "Medic! Hello? Is anyone still here?"
Upstairs. We've got injured.
Okay, I'll be right there. And you hear the shuffling of footprints kind of come over to you, and you see an elderly woman who is one of the guardians for the library archive. Their name is Naomi Malik. Bit frail, wrinkled skin, long white hair, kind of comes down their side. They walk with a little bit of a limp, kind of a long coat underneath a dress that's sort of in a similar fashion to Oleana's, kind of more of a puffier shoulder pad and string up top here to tie the neckline, a dress that kind of is snatched at the waist, but walks a bit slower and has round spectacles and just starts to hobble over to you. You made it okay?
You said they're a
Everyone's all right?
librarian archivist?
Naomi, I head the archive of the library.
you
What's
have-
happening?
Did you have access
Are you okay?
to the relics?
I mean, Whisper, we found that everyone has access to the
Well,
relics.
Oh, I'm just saying.
yes, Candela investigators are allowed to have access to the relics when they wish, when they sign in for the documents.
I'm just saying.
Myself and is Abs still here?
They could be. They're still alive. That's pretty
Abs fell.
suspicious.
Fell.
Abs was alive the last time we saw him, was he not?
No, Abs is over there. Abs didn't make it.
Oh.
What do we do now? The director. Have you seen the director?
No.
No, we haven't seen the director. We just got the power back on.
We haven't gone far from his room.
It's, if possible, discreetly, however, I'd like to use spot a ruse to see if he is telling us the truth.
All right.
Can I give you a drive?
Go for it. Do you roll for that one?
I think I may not need it.
Okay.
It's one of my illumination keys.
Oh. Okay. So, looking at this woman, as she's kind of placating to you all, Oleana just kind of tilts her head a little bit. Something doesn't seem right. Everyone dead, she with her frail form is alive. Here with you now. You see this older frame trying to rush you all into the director's office. Be like, we have to go check up on her. Come on, help me.
You know, I don't think we will.
What? Why not?
Can I do it?
Would you like to tell them?
Me? What are you talking? What are you? She starts to pull this cane down from the ground. Tell them what?
Are we playing games with someone that basically knows what's happening? You should confess, or... And she pulls one of her playing cards out and she starts to kind of flick it around. She goes, we could just go for your neck.
No hesitation, Repo just points the gun.
Whoa, what's going on, y'all?
I mean, if she smells something wrong, I'm sure that something's fishy.
I'm gonna start to make my way, like, around her to try and cut off any kind of escape that she might have. Naomi might have.
Tony, I need you to make me a move roll
I'm
immediately.
running low, y'all. All right, I'll use another drive here. I am hurting, so I can still do that. Tenacious. That's a 6 on a non-gilded. The other two are a 1 and a 4. I'm out of drives.
So, you're able to get close to this elderly woman as you walk forward, looking like you are going to help her go to the director's office. Oleana kind of staying back, that look between you and Rep, that you have that instant connection. Almost like a sixth sense, you're like, something's not right here. And Tony, you kind of like looking back as Oleana's saying this, and you just get an instinct as well. And you turn, sort of trying to like flank her a little bit, and with lightning fast speed, this old lady brandishes this samurai sword out of their cane, lighting with blue light, and almost cuts your entire torso off. You just inches away, are able to back off as just a little line is cut around your abdomen. But that thing was about to cut you in half. If you had failed, you would have died.
Kill him!
As she swings, can I throw the card that's in my hand directly at her
Yes, you
throat?
can.
Cut her off clean at the neck.
Go for it. Strike roll, control roll.
Yeah, suck it. It's a 6.
As this happens, almost like a flash, like with the speed of which this elderly woman is able to fashion, goes for a strike, and the minute that this elderly woman takes their visage off of you, you see her
Pez
opening.
dispenser.
Sinks in right here, straight on. And with your ability to manipulate magic, you twist your fingers. And the card that's just in like this goes. As the old lady's neck. Blood starts to crawl down the neck. Parts of dark black blood also mixes in with the blood, crawls down the chest.
No. The knowledge. It's gotta be gone.
She drops down to one knee. The sword, cling, 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 falls down to the ground. This is your opportunity to ask her some questions, figure out what all this was for, or
Oh
just
no,
end
she's
it.
going to give us some answers. If we can, let's sustain the bleeding. And then I'll use her own weapon to behead her. Alright, why exactly did you kill our friend? Oh, sorry, what's that? I'm sorry, speak up. I can't hear you over the blood from your throat.
And the dislodging of the card that you have is in their windpipe. They're not able to speak fully. As you kind of move your hand, the flame dissipates and the card comes back out a little bit so oxygen can get into their windpipe.
My family has looked over the archives for generations. The knowledge stored in the false Theros has been ours to oversee for decades, for centuries. Candela was becoming obsolete. Thinning's becoming more rare. Their place in the world was coming to an end. They have done their duty. There was talks of closing the chapters down. Closing the fourth Pharaohs. Only to be called upon again if needed. It was then I found the Onyx Prism. One of the first ancient relics that we ever found that the Ancient One told us where it was to manipulate the shadows itself to control its very nature. He told us how to wield it. How to imbue it with power. Allowed us to infuse our magics. Allowed us to make the devices we could make. The director, she knew this. She knows about the Ancient One, a quid pro quo to strengthen Candela's resolve. But she wouldn't go to the lengths that I knew we needed to go. Candela would be obsolete, and I would not let my family's legacy die with all of the knowledge that we procured all along
This
this
is
time.
about your ego.
We wanted to restart Candela. We wanted to start anew. So that the war between us and the Flare would not cease. We would not become weak. We'd hit the reset button. Rebuild Candela stronger than ever. Clara, being the one who rose through the ranks, saw the sign-out pages, multiple agents signing out the Onyx Prism to study it. It was me that told them to study it so we could learn its secrets without any evidence of myself studying it over and over and over again. I wanted to save Candela. I wanted to save humanity from this wretched filth that resides in the flare. The minute Candela closes, our defenses are gone and the world is left to their devices. I wanted Candela to be better. And it still can. This is just us here. End my life. I've done many, many sins. You can keep Candela going. You could all be its new director. Lead it into the new age. Start anew.
Under my illumination keys, one of them says consult arcane texts, and we did just receive quite a large arcane text. I was just wondering if I could perhaps consult this arcane text to see if there's a spell in there so that maybe her knowledge doesn't have to die with her.
Ooh.
I don't know what illumination keys are, but that seems like it could be helpful in this moment.
Okay.
We're going with that. So you want to be able to let the knowledge
Maybe
not
we could
die
take her
with the
brain and turn it
librarian.
into a book, or take her consciousness and put it into a mirror.
Or we could put her head into one of those jars.
We could put her head in a jar. That's what she wants. That's what she's saying. That's what she wants. I'm helping her out.
You know what?
Suspended
I love this
animation.
so much. I love this so much. Whisper, I'm handing this over to you. You find that spell in that book with that illumination key. You describe to me what that process is. Be as gruesome as you want to be,
Well,
horrific as you want to be. How are you going to preserve the memory and information that the librarian has held from their families
I
of
like
generations
this idea
and
the doctor
generations
had
untold?
of the head in a jar. I have this one here, but it says all we need is a jar. Where are we going to find a jar? I knew there was a reason I never threw this out. Oh, perfect. Cast the spell. Wait, maybe our magician can cast the spell to put the head in a jar.
Sure thing. With you knowing this is more, not so much ethereal, it's more concrete. As the doctor hands you a scalpel, how do you want to extract the brain from the librarian? As Oleana is just finished sort of interrogating with the playing cards dislodged in their throat.
This will only hurt for a second. Sorry, so sorry, so sorry.
So with that jar,
It's a little
is it
snug.
big enough to house a brain, or is it smaller? So would you have to cut
No,
parts of
but
the brain to
Her
fit it
face
in the
is a
jar?
little against the side.
You took the head?
You took the whole head?
Yeah, she said she didn't want her knowledge to die with her, so everybody wins.
We thought you were just taking the brain.
Huh? How is she gonna pass on the knowledge without a mouth?
I mean, telepathically,
Oh, I didn't
perhaps.
No, it's great. It's great.
So as you use Oleana's card to sever the head and take it into this jar, preserve it, through the archives of Candela, you're able to find a way to extract the information, input it in items, input it in a mirror, however that looks to you. And with bodies slain all over Candela, what is our epilogue here? What does the circle of sophistication do
Well, I guess
at
we
this
grab-
point? Do you take over Candela? Do you walk away entirely? Do you start anew? I will go over to you one by one. You kind of tell me your character's epilogue at this point. Starting over to Tony.
Tony has grown an affinity for Candela, but can see that the missions have gotten sparse. And instead of restarting Candela, Tony is in charge of seeing it, sunsetting it, and taking care of things as they come up. But it's Tony's mission to become the final director of Candela, and slowly but surely shutting it down in the best way possible, and writing its epilogue and setting it up in case it's ever needed again.
Okay. Go to Oleana.
I like to think that Oleana has. Well, I like to believe that her and her brother have spaces they live that are quite close to each other, but far enough away that they don't kill each other.
Yeah.
So, I think that now that she is done with her days of the circus, she's decided. And also, I just want to clarify one thing. The reason that she was in the circus was that she confused circus with circuit, and that's why she was not with you all in the beginning, because
That's
she
fine.
thought that you had gone to the circus.
Yeah, but
However,
it's
she
fine.
does go back on the weekends to travel with them because it is
So weird.
quite fun. And that's what I do. I live a life of leisure. I don't want to
Okay.
go out and hunting things, but if they come for me, I will give them a reason not to do it ever again.
Awesome.
Um,
And over to Repo.
Repo doesn't always like doing things in front of a view. And Repo isn't so surprised by the librarian because those who have lived a life of fortune are often kind of spoiled. Repo puts together his own little band of misfits, and he simply calls them the Candlesticks. Urchins, those a little bit downtrodden, thieves and the like. And it's not so much that they're a group of thieves, but they're a little bit of an organization, and their symbol is that of a raccoon.
Well, the first thing I'm going to do is grab a mop, clean this place up. There's so much knowledge here, so many undiscovered plans, and so much knowledge. If indeed Tony is going to shut it down, well, I'll be here with him. In Clara's memory, we will discover all that needs to be, and together we'll preserve that knowledge. If for one day needs to be called again, well, we'll be ready.
Awesome. And then
I'd like to
last but
stay
certainly
with
not
Tony
least,
and
Whisper.
the doctor, if that's all right. I'd like to haunt the fourth Pharos and make sure the electricity stays on, and of course, keep the head in the jar company forever.
As you're the one who can easily extract the information out of it as almost a loving mascot of what the new Candela Obscura might be. And with that, we close out from there. And that is the end of our little Candela campaign.
Yeah.
Everybody lived.
Good Lord.
Barely.
Yeah. Yeah, you barely. Yeah, there was a couple times there where I was like high rolls, high rolls, high rolls, and at the end there, I was just gonna like if you ever talk to the old woman and didn't get a 6, I was just gonna kill them outright. But so good on you, Tony, for escaping that. Thank you guys all so much for watching our awesome Candela Obscura campaign here. That, of course, was a partnership with Make-A-Wish Foundation for Roll for Wishes. Thank you, everyone who donated through the lives. And if you're watching this after the live, you can look in the link in the description on our YouTube channel. The link will be open for donations through there. And yeah, thank you so much. I want to thank the awesome players here for joining me for this. It was awesome to play a new system with y'all. Thank you for taking the time out of your busiest schedules to be a part of this. And yeah, until next time, everyone, I'm Kevin Parr, aka Ice Cream Sandwich. Have a great night, everyone. Bye-bye.